All the way back in late 1981, a young, fresh-faced Atari employee by the name of Howard Scott Warshaw was given the assignment to port the arcade game Star Castle to the Atari video computer system. Well, young Howard stood right up and said, "It can't be done. The VCS just doesn't have the capability." But that wasn't the end of the road. He said, "I have an idea to take the elements of Star Castle and reorganize them into something new and different." And that yielded the 1982 legendary Atari game, Yars Revenge. Now, you may have noticed I didn't write a script for this video because I don't need a script for this video. Yars Revenge is one of my all-time favorite Atari 2600 games, easily in my top 5, right up there with Adventure and those sorts of classics. And it's still getting love today. Look, we're seeing a reboot coming later this year in the form of Yars Rising. There's still a Yars 2 on the horizon by Howard Scott Warshaw himself. What is it about this now 42-year-old Atari game on a 4K cartridge that has yielded such a following and love all these many years later? Let's go plug it in and play it and find out for ourselves.
1981 Atari, released in 1982. Here is Yars Revenge. And if you're like me, typically you throw in Yars Revenge and right away you push start. And you get the only representation of a HUD you're ever going to get in the game. Your score, 0, and the number of Yars you have, 4. That's it. So when you push the fire button, that's when you get into the game. So let's start with the overview of what's going on. I'm this little Yar over here on the left. That's your little housefly that was mutated. This is the neutral zone, the safe space where this little flying bullet can't get to you. This cruise missile thing can come and get you. So he kind of moves after you. He gets progressively faster over the course of the game. And though you are safe from the bullet inside of here, you're not safe from that swirling Qotile that went flying out. So said Qotile is over here behind this shield. Now I can shoot or I can nibble. I can chew away at the shield. Periodically, that Qotile turns into the swirl and tries to hit you. And your job is to nibble away at the shield, avoid the bullet, avoid getting shot by the Qotile swirl, and destroy the Qotile. And you do that over and over and over and over. And so, look, I understand early reviews that said, oh, this is a boring game, it's the same thing over and over and over. But it's the strategy, it's the skill with which you have to learn as things get better and faster, and then you can blast the Qotile, and you get this big fancy explosion. Then the HUD comes back just momentarily. Now you know your score, now you know how many lives you have, and you're back into the game. Now, when you start the game, you're on level 2, or game option number 2 with the game select. So that's normal mode. That's what I played all my life until, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I read the instructions. So what you basically have, you have 4 different variations of the game. You have 0 and 1, which is the baby's game. Things are really, really slow. And you have to go around to that. And 0 is the 1 player, 1 is the 2 player. And then you have normal, this, which is what we just played. And then you have option 3 is a 2-player version of that. Then you have this middle of the road version, game option 4, which is, it's like halfway to Ultimate Yars. It's like going to McDonald's and ordering a salad. If you're going to go hardcore on Yars, just go on to game 6. The only difference really in 4 is I guess maybe things are a little faster, and the Zorlon Cannon can bounce off of the shield. Okay, and it can hit you. All right, but 2-player version of that, version 6. That is where the serious game is. We're going to get to that in a second. But for now, that's going to be what I'm going to do my run and see how well I can do on this game. But option 2, that game option 2 is the one most people play. And by the way, difficulty switches do come into play. B is normal, and A, the swirl is faster, and your Zorlon Cannon bullet thing can actually destroy the heat-seeking missile. Let me pop in, start a game just like we did. So, you chew away. You can gain your Zorlon Cannon by either nibbling away at a piece of the shield or touching the Qotile when he's in this dormant stage. For years and years, too, I always just thought, well, who knows when he's going to turn into the swirl? You don't know. But you do. It's timing. It's all timing. So check this out. Listen to the thrum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 16. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There he is. There. And then he shoots, and he got me. And so once you have a swirl of fire, you can actually know when the next one's going to come. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to guess. You have two options of a rotating variation on that shield as well. There's this the static one, and there's a rotating one, which I'll show you momentarily. Just touch him, get my bullet. Got him. All right. Once you destroy him, the second option of the shield is this rotating one in a block. See how it kind of zigzags around? If you're playing version 2, the easy version, or the version 0, you know, just shooting is fine. But when you play Ultimate Yars, man, it's all about nibbling. And you notice that right away that Zorlon Cannon loads over the left-hand side of the screen, and it's going to fire the next time you hit the button. And so even if you don't want it to, it's gonna. So these are all the elements, right? So yes, you have the neutral zone, you have the bullet, you have the Qotile, all that stuff is there. Bang, got him again. But there's so much more with Ultimate Yars. Now, there's one thing to know is that I'm at 25,000 right now. As you progress in the game, there are milestones where things will change. At 70,000, the shield changes from orange to blue. At 150,000 to pink, and at 230,000 to gray. And with each one of those, the pacing, the timing of when the Qotile swirl comes out changes. Gradually, as you play, the bullet gets faster, that heat-seeking homing missile. All that goes into account. So, I'm going to come down here to option 6. This is the Super Bowl of Yars Revenge. Ultimate Yars, as it's called in the instruction manual. How I ever played version 2 beyond the first 10 times, I just didn't read the manual. I didn't know. This is the way to play Yars Revenge, and for a lot of great reasons. So, let's get into the game. So, looks basically the same, and it is basically the same. So here's the swirl. Notice when I nibble, it does not load my Zorlon Cannon. That's because in this version, two cool things happen. One, you get the Zorlon Cannon when you want it. There, I just turned it on by touching the left side of the screen. Also, it bounces, as you saw, but in this version, if you catch it, you get the points back. Boop, doesn't hurt you. So you get those points, some of those points back that you spent, those trons. You earn those trons by either a point for nibbling on the shields. That gives you 1 for touching the Qotile. When he's at dormant, you get 2 points. And when you're ready to shoot, you come over, activate it, and then you can fire it. There's more management of resources. There's more control over when you fire. There's less shooting yourself in the back. It is the way to play this game that, wow, how I avoided it for so long. I'm mad at myself, actually. Now, all right, so I'm going to do my run and see what kind of a score I can get. I can usually get, I don't know, we'll see. I'll edit it down because it can take a while. Before I do, of course, I want to mention, if you haven't yet, please check out our merch store over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch. It's where we have cool stuff, t-shirts and phone cases and stuff like that with Atari and nerdy stuff. Every purchase you make over there goes to help GenXGrownUp and funds videos like this in the future. So please consider checking it out the next time you're in the market for something cool for you or for a loved one or someone you like. So, all right, this is it. This is my run. Ultimate Yars. It's just the way to play. And it's almost like a dance. So we did that 16 seconds, 16 of those pulses between when the spiral comes out. That changes later. It goes down to I think every 6 or... I think it's every 6 ultimately. Oh, almost got it. Could have caught that, bounced off the shield. Tend not to spend too much time shooting because I'd rather get the points, all the trons. Now there's nothing that tells you how many trons you have. Now the gathering of these little trons, the points that you can use to fire the cannon. In the manual, it's very clever what Howard did. He has no way to display them. He's like a Yarian warrior instinctively knows how many trons he has. If you die, you're going to lose all those. But you can have up to 256, I think. If you try to get more than that, they'll roll over to 0. Now, clearly that's just a pointer that he built, and he didn't have a way to keep track of it or show it on screen. But he built it into the lore. But I've never had the problem of having too many, as far as I'm aware. Boom, another destruction. I should also mention that when you're in the neutral zone, you can't fire the cannon. You've got to come out and make yourself vulnerable. Ooh, catch. Got it. Now, of course, when you're playing, you're not going to sit necessarily and count to 16 and know how long it is before the Qotile. You get a feel for that after a while, but you can. There's a science to it. There's an absolute Zen state you can get in where you can feel when the next one is coming. Like he's coming any second now. I can feel it. There it is. Yep. Got him. 34 grand. This game just makes me happy. And I've also heard people say they don't understand this game. Well, first of all, read the manual, and you will. But if you don't read the manual, just ask somebody or watch a video like this. It's really not complex. It's ridiculously simple. It's all about the strategy. In later levels, periodically that neutral zone will go away. What else could they do? The Qotile will sometimes change directions. So whereas right now he kind of comes out and goes in a straight line, later he's like, oh no, I'm going to chase you down. And you really have to run away from him and keep avoiding that bullet, right? Oh, didn't quite get him. Nibble, nibble. Look, it's turned blue. All right, so we've made it at least to 70 grand now, we know. Missed him. Catch. So he's going to fire more frequently now. I think it's 6. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Much more frequent. So you got to get in and get out when you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There he is. Got him. Whew, there's the black stripe. Stay off it for now. About 80 grand. Look how fast the bullet's going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Missed. Get out of the way. 1, 2, 3. It becomes this dance. 6. Missed it. The next level he does get slower again, but he starts changing directions on you. 104. Look. Oh, man. No neutral zone. Do you see that? Yeah. And he's still fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost. Come on. Now, the neutral zone does come back eventually. So I got to gather Trons just to be able to shoot my cannon, right? Oh. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. 140. We're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. There's gray. We got there. So now it drops back to the 16. Not so fast anymore. You have a little more breathing room. But it will change directions. See that? See him turn? 156. All right. And when you get shot, you lose all those Trons you've been collecting. So usually I'll wait for him to shoot once before I go try to collect him again. The step up in difficulty at this gray screen is serious. We're not playing around anymore, right? I mean, when he can turn on you. Now, if you get good, you can use that as a method to shoot him. Oh, can I make 230? I don't know. 3 lives left. I lost the neutral zone. That's gone. Oh, I had gained an extra life. All right, I still have this one and one more. All right. Still, 230 is pretty far away. But what happens once you get to 230 is the shield changes color once more, and the frequency is back to that every 6 seconds. So as you can imagine, the pace is like this. 182. All right. Neutral zone is back. Oh, he chased me. I got another extra man. I'm almost 200 grand. Oh, man. This is not a bad run. And on Ultimate Yars at that, which is, it's the way to play. 203? I mean, that's something. We'll see. Neutral zone's gone. A world of hurt. Oh, that was it. Oh, 207. So basically 208,000. Not bad. Okay. Before we go, I'm pretty proud of that run, actually. Before we go, let's do the Easter egg, and it's a game ender. So, all right. So here's the deal. All you have to do is shoot the Qotile when it's flying toward you, and then find this black stripe and fly on it. It doesn't work every time. I take a few tries, but here we go. All right, I hit him. There's the black stripe. Fly on it. Oh, didn't do it that time. That's one try. Got it. Get on the line. Nope. Not yet. Got him. Come on, get on the line. Not quite. Got him. Come on the line. Come on. Boom. HSW, WSH. That's Howard Scott Warshaw. Forward and backward. And there's the Easter egg. So, look, with a storied history, so much strategy, so many evolutions throughout the course of the game. The variable difficulty with normal and the super easy mode, the middle of the road, and then ultimate Yars. I don't know why it should be anyone's surprise that Yars Revenge is so beloved for so many people, especially for me.
Now, what you didn't see in that footage from my gameplay that I had to edit out were the long stretches of time that I forgot I was making a video and I was just playing Yars Revenge. And I just got in the zone. It was like I was transported back to the mid-'80s. This game always does that for me. It's like I'm sitting cross-legged in front of the big wood panel TV and I'm playing Yars again on my old Atari 2600. And now, with the advent of discovering Ultimate Yars, which admittedly was always there, I just didn't know about it until half a decade ago. Because I was a kid, I thought I knew everything there was to know about Yars Revenge. Why read the instructions since I already knew how to play? It adds a whole new, like a facet, a whole new element to Yars Revenge. I can never go back. I can never play the default version anymore. I'm spoiled. And it's really the best way to play Yars Revenge once you understand how it is to play. Now, if you've gotten this far and you're wondering, how is John doing a Yars Revenge video and not talking about the comic book or the secret meanings or stuff like that? I did do that video. I've already done it. I didn't want to remake that video. All that trivia is there for you. So, as usual, I'll throw some links over my shoulders here, and this one is all of those, the top 10 things you didn't know about Yars Revenge if you want to dig into the trivia. Man, I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.